I'm leaving that in. That's our new intro music. Hello, everyone, and welcome on to episode 160 of the Down South Photo Show with me, Brendan Waits, here in Ocean Grove, Victoria, Australia, and the guy on your other screen or in your other ear if you're listening to the show. It is Cam Blake in Hobart, Tasmania, Australia. Hello, Cameron.
Hello. Are we doing? Is this 160? I didn't even realise.
This is episode 160. I think I got that right. I hope I got that right. Welcome back. We're back. We had a couple of weeks off.
You did. Well, you had a couple of weeks off. I was just waiting for you.
You were right there. You didn't move. You just stood there waiting patiently.
I just stood there. I've been sitting in my office. All the batteries in my lights are going flat
for 2 weeks.
Yeah, I've been waiting. More importantly, how are you, Brendan? You've had an interesting couple of weeks.
Okay. I have had an interesting couple of weeks. So for those of you playing along at home, had myself a little bit of surgery. It was open inguinal hernia surgery. There you go.
Open inguinal herpes surgery. Hernia surgery, not herpes surgery.
No, it might have been. I don't know what they did while I was knocked out. Can I just say?
I can tell you what they've done because you sent me a photo of what the aftermath is like.
It's pretty gruesome down there, but it was interesting, and I'm happy for people to know what went on. So yeah, that's what I had done, and it's a very common procedure for men in their early 50s.
I wouldn't have thought penis enlargement was a common thing, but
reduction, Cameron, reduction.
Reduction.
So it was. There's some. I mentioned this to you after I had it done. I don't think there's anything better than being knocked out for surgery. It's the coolest thing ever.
It is cool. I saw something today actually talking about that. There was one of those videos you get on this stream, and it's a lady singing the Spice Girls song, and she's singing on the thing and dancing, and then she just goes, and just that's it. She's gone. Just knocks her out. So, but yeah, it's an interesting one, isn't it? It's just off you go, and what's going on, but you go.
Yeah, you think, no, I'm going to be aware of this surely, and next minute you're awake in recovery.
Yeah, no one can knock me out.
The machine that goes ping.
Yeah, no one can knock me out. Welcome back, Mr. Waits. How you feeling?
That's right.
Like that?
Exactly. But there's also, not to get too deep and meaningful early in this show, but there's a point where they take you into the pre-op room and they put you in this room. You're on a gurney, and I was propped up, and they leave you there for 10, 15 minutes.
Just to think.
And no phone, no contact with the outside world, just you in an ill-fitting gown that ties up at the back, which I could never get tied up. Anyway, that's another story.
That's what the nurses are for.
And it was the nicest 10, 15 minutes I've had in a long time. This is great. Right. I loved it. It was it's like forced meditation.
Well, yeah, you can't get up and walk off. You've generally got something ready to go on your arm, and
you're just left there with your thoughts. And
when I had my kidney stones out the other week, same thing. But I was sitting there and I'm thinking, they're going to probe that place, and I don't want to know about it. And I rolled over and just looked at all these medical supplies. I think I told you this before, medical supplies. Yeah. And there's Olympus on one of the medical scopes. I'm like, that's it. If they haven't screwed me enough, they're going to now stick one right up me clacker.
That's one of the seven signs of the apocalypse, isn't it?
It might be. It felt like it. But no, it's good. It is a nice little feeling, and you do feel rested afterwards. Now, did you do the same? Well, I haven't had mine done yet. I've got another one coming up in a few weeks. Yep. But the first thing I did when I woke up was I went, okay, let me just make sure everything's all good. Did you do the same? Did you have a bit of a reach around and feel around?
I was out. I was out of it. I was in that blissful 10 minutes that you get, still in a bit of dreamland. You can hear voices around you because there's other people in recovery and whatever. But no, I don't know. I sort of soaked it all in. I'm like, this is great. I don't have to talk to no one. I don't have to. It's just me, And I quite enjoyed my own company for that little part. But it went well. It was a success. That's great. I'm now in recovery, like long-term recovery, which will take about 4 weeks before I'm sort of my old self again. And the first week has been okay. I spent it on the couch, and it was Easter. Now, what is it with Easter egg chocolate? Why is it better than any other chocolate? Why is that?
Well, you know what? I'm gonna defunct that a little bit.
Oh man,
because I think the plain Easter egg chocolate, the Cadbury's Easter eggs, are great. I got given a couple. I like crunchies, but I got given a couple of those crunchy bunnies. Yes. And they don't taste like crunchy. They don't taste the same. And I was a bit disappointed.
No, they don't. It's not the same. It's not the same chocolate.
It's not. No, the crunchy chocolate's crap. It's nice, but it's not the other ones. You just inhale them. They don't, they're just incredibly nice. But the crunchy ones leave a little bit less to be desired, I think. So,
well, look, 5 minutes in and we haven't even spoken photography yet. Welcome to our new audience who might be tuning in for the first time.
I thought
we will get to
show.
It's sort of more of a catch up, isn't it? Because we've been down for a couple of weeks, but it was so it was good Easter. So we had Easter, so I could just basically put my feet up, eat chocolate, and watch football, which was good.
Yeah, and your team is on the winning board for a change.
About time, wasn't it? Speaking of, had a beautiful time in Adelaide prior to that as well. Adelaide is a wonderful city. I went in. Here's some photography talk. Went back into Diamonds camera and video. Diamonds in Adelaide at the end of Rundle Mall.
Camera and photo?
I think it's camera and video. They wouldn't have ripped my name off, surely. I mean, they've only been there for 7 years.
They've been around longer than you, though.
Whether it was serendipity or not, quite sadly, the founder of Diamonds Camera and Video in Adelaide passed away the day that I went into the shop.
Well, you do have that effect on others.
So condolences to those people in Adelaide who use Diamonds, and indeed the people who run and I don't know what the deal is. I think it's their founding member of Diamonds.
Right. Well, they're called Diamonds cameras. Diamonds camera.
There's no and video and digital.
No and video. There's actually no S on the end of camera. It's just Cameron.
Diamonds camera.
Yeah.
So hey, how about we plug the hell out of Diamonds camera? If you're in Adelaide, get down the end of Rundle Mall there and check out. They had heaps of staff. It was good.
165 Rundle Mall. Just don't go there late at night. Rundle Mall's a bit rough, isn't it?
I think that's Hindley Street.
I don't know. You see, I think Adelaide's a very pretty town. G'day to all our Adelaide listeners. It's a very pretty town, but I've said this once, I'll say it again. That nothing's open after 4 o'clock on any day. It's a very sleepy town. And
what the hell's wrong with that?
Nothing, except when Daniel and I want food and nothing's open.
I have a love affair with Adelaide. I think it's a fantastic city. So we've been there 2 years running now for Gather Round in the AFL, and so far, both times we've been there, it's been fantastic. The people are amazing. The pubs are great. The whole city, it just comes alive, and it's the right size of a city. It's not massive like Melbourne, and it's not tiny like Ballarat.
Well, you can really get into it, can't you? Because everything's fairly close, and everyone's going to the same places pretty much, and there's a bit of a party atmosphere. Yeah. No,
we thoroughly enjoyed it, and for the first time, we got up to the Barossa. Now, Cameron, there's a place where we could run a photo tour. The Barossa
out of a wine glass.
Oh yes, please. How good would that be? We'll call it. We'll come up with some catchy name, wine and
camera whining.
Yeah.
Whining your camera on.
If you have a suggestion for what we can call our Barossa Valley camera tour, photo tour, hit us up below. And if you want to come on it, sure.
Just to make note, we won't be going via Mildura to get there. Yeah.
No, we'll definitely be going via Adelaide. Yeah, no, Barossa.
We don't go to Mildura, do we?
Shout out to Shout out to Yankee Flat Winery.
Yankee what?
Yankee? No, Turkey Flat. Sorry, Yankee Flat's a whole other thing. Turkey Flat Winery in the Barossa. They looked after us. They were fantastic. Really.
For myself and the rest of the viewers, has your medication worn off yet, or are you still on it?
Where am I? Are we still? Anyway, highly recommend Turkey Flat Winery up in the Barossa.
Cool. Hey, we've got a photo comp going on, haven't we? I'm going to take over this shit show.
Thank you for steering this. I was running it into the ground. Yeah, we do. And it's on our Facebook page. Head over to Down South Photo Show on Facebook. And you can do what, Cameron?
They can enter a photo. And the theme this month is glass. My shoe came off halfway through the bloody thing. As in smooth as glass. So you can post up a photo. It doesn't have to be of glass. It's a glass theme. Just going through, there is some very cool shots this month.
So you have until the end of the month to enter.
Yeah. There's about 30 entries. Yeah, end of the month. So probably this episode and maybe the next one.
No. be this episode, and then the month will end. So,
all right. Okay. A bit of a shout out to Sharon Thorogood. She's put in a couple of entries there. Maybe check yourself into AA, Sharon. Every photo of hers has beer in it, but I like it. There's a lot of good shots in here.
Glass, yes.
Okay. There's a very cool one of some flamingos. What else? There's some good shots in there. So,
do you know what the collective noun for a group of flamingos is? I learned this week, actually. It's a flamboyance.
Of course it is.
A flamboyance of flamingos.
That's a good car game to play, naming the collective nouns of all the animals and things like that.
I enjoy that.
We're not going to do it on this show, but it is fun to do.
No, we are not. So shall we? Right, so head over to our Facebook page, search the Down South Photo Show, follow the page, and then enter this month's competition. And the theme is glass. You will win some stuff.
Yep. And after that, we'll put the top 10 or top 5 up for the People's Choice for May. And then we'll have a new competition in June.
We will. Cameron,
yes.
How would you like to show me your photo of the week?
Cool. Here it is right there. Here's one I prepared earlier. I saw this the other day. It's so cool. I want that car. I've decided I'm going to save up and buy one. So the other day I thought I had a couple of hours to myself. I thought I'll go out and check out the autumn colours around Mount Field and the Derwent Valley and just out of Hobart here. Went up and checked out the Fagus. Got a few photos of that, which is pretty cool. But on the way back, I was coming through this little town called Westerway, and I drove past this, and I might literally slam my ankles on. I'm like, my God, that's a shot. So I pulled in. There's a place right next door called the Possum Shed, which is a little cafe, which is a great little place to stop in if you're out that way. Had to do a U-turn, went back up, and then sort of parked on the side of the road and got out. And just as I was getting there, the sun sort of came out. It was really quite nice how it all happened. So a little white picket fence, the little green little Land Rover there, Series 3, I think it is. And then the autumn colours. And I was lucky enough to get a little sunburst behind the back of it as well. But that was just too cool not to stop and take a photo of it. And I've actually printed it out. I was telling you off air that's printed out. And it looks mint. I'd love to know who owns it. Funnily enough, they had a South Australian number plate on it. So maybe they just come back from Gather Round or something like that.
Maybe that.
But it was just one of those things where
that's not permanently parked there. That just happened to be parked there.
Just happened to be parked there. And I don't know why it was parked there, because unless someone who owns the cafes from South Australia or something like that, it was just off. And it wasn't there on the way out. I drove out that way. But I saw that and I'm like, I love these cars. I actually always wanted to get one of these ones and do them up. And I saw that sitting there. I'm like, that's the car I want sitting there. It just looked too cool not to take a photo of it. So it's very fun.
Cool. And it's got that classic green Land Rover green that they used to always
and the green, I like how it's sort of got the white fence, the green truck, and the golden trees. It's got a bit of depth to it, but really it was just an admiration shot of something I really liked. It was a bit selfish sort of shot, but
And I also, one other thing I like about that shot is the picket fence is imperfect and it's got a broken picket. I think that's cool.
Yeah, I kicked it off before the photo just to get that effect.
You can't have it too. Perfect.
So that was my shot. Again, I got a couple more shots to show you throughout the show, but that was my shot of the week.
Cool.
How about yours? Have you even been out? Yeah. How can you take photos from a hospital?
Well, I'm going to have to show an oldie, but it's a goodie because, well, if I do say so myself, because this is it's almost the 12-month anniversary of this photo. So this was the Aurora event of last year, which was Mother's Day Eve 2024, the 11th of May 2024. And she was a jaw dropper. It was hands down the best Aurora I've ever seen. And this is from Southern Victoria, let alone where you were.
It was crazy where I was.
The awesome shots you got as well. But to stand here shoulder to shoulder with another local landscape photographer, Pete James, and it was just the two of us. It was so weird because it was like everyone knew it was coming, but it seemed to be only Pete and I got to this pretty mint spot to shoot it. In fact, so much so that as I turned up there, Pete started packing up and I said, "It's all right, Pete, it's me." And he went, "Oh, Brendan, yeah, sweet."
All right.
He was worried that he was going to get some person that didn't know how to shoot Auroras.
Everyone's going to come over now. Bloody hell.
Oh, no, I think he was just more worried that he'd have to give a Aurora workshop.
Well, that's the problem, though. Like, if you do go to some places and people get a sniff that you half know what you're doing, they're onto you.
Yeah, that's
so
right.
what's just what settings are you using? Like,
Yeah,
what camera have you got? Oh, how come yours looks different on your screen to mine? I can't get it. And then they get their head torch on and they're shining it in all your shots, trying to figure out how to get the shot done. But
well, that's why I can accept credit cards on my mobile phone. So I'll just give them a, yep, no worries, just tap there, bing. All right, sweet. Now let's do a workshop. Done.
Do you reckon anyone would do? Has anyone ever done that? No.
It'd be funny though. Interesting way to do it. But yeah, this was a cracker. So, and I remember just thinking, like, am I in Australia here or am I in Norway? Like, it was, and the beams, you could see them moving. You could see, it was really cool. So
it was very cool.
It was.
That was the night that I was probably flying over your head at that stage in a Jetstar plane.
Yeah, that was getting the Star Trail. You can see in my photo.
Yeah. Actually, I saw someone the other day got a similar shot out of a plane. Where were they? They were flying. They actually were in the cockpit. They were doing freight transfer between Sydney and Hobart or something like that, doing like mail freight. And they were in the cockpit and they had a photo of it out the window. So, but you know what? If Mother Nature works to plan, keep an eye out for around about early second week of May. Might happen again.
Well, it's a time for heightened activity, apparently. So
it is, like the next 12 months.
Follow these things.
Yeah, the next 12 months is meant to be pretty big. We haven't had a big one for a few weeks, though. So one might be due.
It'll probably happen when we're on the Great Ocean Road.
We've got a workshop coming up.
Speaking of.
Wow.
As a treat for our listening and viewing audience, we have a spot open up on the Great Ocean Road workshop. We had 8.
We kicked someone off.
We didn't like. We went. You know what? I don't think this is for you. And we.
Yeah.
No, we didn't do that. We have got a spot. So one spot left, and that's on the 19th of May. So, if you want to, do you reckon I can show people how to do it? Look, here we go. I'll bring this up.
Here we go. Stay tuned, folks. This will just disconnect in about 5 seconds.
Well,
Brendan's going to do some technical. Look, he's not. He's struggling.
Get rid of that.
He's struggling.
First.
He's struggling.
There we go.
He's struggling.
So if you go to our website, which is downsouthphotoshow.dsps.com.au, and you click on the workshops tab and you go to all workshops, this is what you'll get. And if you scroll down, there you go. This is all where you can see all our workshops.
Yeah.
And you can see the very first one, Great Ocean Road. Click on that. One new place available in big capital. So,
so just to make it sound appealing to people listening. Where they meet us down in Apollo Bay, or
correct?
Do we pick them up from anywhere? What has
we have?
Brendan?
We have 2 options. We can either meet you in Apollo Bay, which we recommend because you might want to spend a bit more time down in Apollo Bay.
Why wouldn't you?
Or we can pick you up in Geelong on the day of. So and take you down to Apollo Bay. Get you down there. We're going to have 5 days down there on the Great Ocean Road. So 4 nights in beautiful waterfront apartments of Apollo Bay. You get your own room, you get your own bathroom, all that kind of cool stuff. And then we have a little bus that takes you to places like the 12 Apostles, that takes you to places like the waterfalls that you see here, Hopeton Falls. We go to the Redwoods, which everyone's raving about. When we went up there last time,
we're going down Gibson. We're going to go down Gibson Steps this time.
Gibson Steps, and which you don't have to do, by the way. Gibson Steps, there's a few steps there, and just the same with the waterfalls as well. If you don't want to pop down to a waterfall, that's totally fine as well. But
I don't remember you giving our group last year that option.
well, you're kind of there to take photos, so if you you don't want to miss that. There's
walk down the stairs.
Correct. Get down there. You got to get. It's easy getting back up. That's.
We had wonderful David on the trip last year. David's, early young bloke himself. He got down those stairs and did everything he had to do. So
octogenarian, isn't he? I think he's got an 8 at the start of his age.
He might have an 8. Yes, I saw him the other day, but he doesn't look a day over 60. That bloke. He's better fitness than you and I can tell you right now.
But he hasn't had any hernia problems. Actually, go ahead.
Oh, he has. I think we spoke about this the other day. He was on Bruny Island, and I think he said he'd had them before. So,
well, there you go. He knows what I'm going through and what you're about to go through. Yeah, exactly. Head over to dsps.com.au and jump on the workshops tab and hey, come along, come down the Great Ocean Road. Why not? Love it down there. It's kind of my stomping ground. I live at Ocean Grove, which is the far eastern end of the Great Ocean Road, if you like. And then, we'll take you along, show you some cool spots, and be fun. Also, we have our Tarkine to Cradle workshop, which 2 spots left, something like that. Maybe 2.
Yes, maybe. I went up that. I think there's only 2 spots left on that one.
And that's in August. So
that's in August. Again, you can find all that stuff on our website. And we're starting to put out the 2026 dates as well. So
they are cranking out.
If you're not sure what you want to do, or you're interested but not 100% sure, at least go and sign up for the newsletter on the dsps.com.au website, and we'll send no newsletters out. You'll get no notice of anything because we don't update that enough. We will get better at sending out newsletters at least once every few weeks just to update you on what's going on. We might. We'll try. We've got a lot on.
Now, Cam, would you like to talk about your trip to Brunei, or would you like to start with a different subject?
Oh, we can talk about Brunei first because it sort of rolls into the topic we're talking about. So, I just came back. I had a nice little. I like these little short workshops, the 3 days. So I was lucky enough to get a few guests onto Brunei Island, which is the island just off Hobart, about 35 minutes from Hobart. You get on a ferry at Kettering, and then you're on the island. You've been there a couple of months ago with your family as well.
It was awesome.
Great little spot. We had stunning weather, just beautiful sunrises, beautiful sunsets. We went and did the Pennycott Wilderness Journey. So that's from a boat from the second highest sea cliffs in Australia, in the southern hemisphere, actually. We saw the fur seals. And then we also saw a beautiful pot of dolphins on the way back as we were going through. But we had 4 guests on this one. We also had Cheryl coming along. Cheryl wanted to check out how it all worked on the Brunei Islands, so she came along. Lucky she was there because I got myself a bloody cold on the second day and felt like death warmed up for about half a day. And we had a great group of people who said, stay in bed, Cam, for 2 hours, get some drugs into you, and then come and meet us in the rainforest. So that's exactly what I did. It's the first time ever on a workshop that I've had a bit of a hiccup with not feeling well and needed to take some time off. So it's all happening this year, isn't it? We've got bloody operations, not feeling well.
You've had a few firsts on your workshop. Like you got turned back from Bathurst Harbour, or whatever. Yep. So that was the first. Yeah. Now you've got Crook.
Now we've got Crook. We had someone else that we wanted to murder. That was another first. So yeah, I don't know. Like I haven't had a cold, touch wood. I haven't had a cold for ages. I cannot even think of the last time I had a cold. So this is out of the blue, but yeah. Lots of plane
rides. Get it well and truly out of your system before you come on the Great Ocean Road, which I'm sure you will. The dolphins, very cool.
Yes, they were very cool. They were, and it was funny because we're driving back in the boats, and the pilots have just sort of said, look, there's not much going on. We'll go out and have a look. We weren't seeing anything. It was quite a calm day. And out of nowhere, this pod of about 40 dolphins just started playing around the boats and got everyone up out of their seats and jumping around. There was one of them was doing these little back rolls, doing this splash, like he was either telling us to go away or playing with us. I don't know. But we all got some great shots of the dolphins playing. But this one was really cool. We almost stopped and just sort of cruising along, really not going very fast at all. And these 2 dolphins just decided to pop out at the same time and say good day. So it was a great trip. Like I said, we had a great group. So we had David, a great customer of mine. David was on that trip. He loved it. He's already booked in next year. So we're going again. He's going back to Brunei. He loved it. He said, I want to come back and do this little island again. Yeah. And it's a great little place. Got some beautiful old lighthouse. It's got some beautiful little beaches and coves you can explore. You got the boat trip. You got just endless opportunities for photography. We also got some shots of they have the albino wallabies down there. So
of course, yes.
Yeah, so they rock up. It's quite funny. We go looking for them every year. Like, they're usually up this track and they're around the back here and they're here and then there. No, they're not. They're just in the front yard eating someone's grasses. And pretty much each time we've found them, they've been eating grasses in the front.
They're normally not too far from the Pentecote area.
No, it's literally on the same road. I'll just add another photo in there for you. I'll add a couple more if you want to share a few more. But it was good. I'll show you. There's a little wonderful photo of David in action as well. I'll put up there. But it's got some really cool sandstone formations that you can play around with as well. It's got some beautiful patterns in them. But it's just a little island paradise. It really is. And it's about 60K north to south, pretty much. It's not a big island, but it just packs a really big punch for photography stuff. So 3 days is about right. Any longer than 3 days, you're probably pushing it a bit. There's David with his big 150 to 400 lens. He was stalking me and I was stalking him through the forest there. But we got some great shots. And then the last one is a selfie. The last one I got there is a selfie. That was how I was feeling on the second morning. I had a bit of a steel with a saw head. But it's a really great trip. And again, it's one of those little workshops that's easy to come down. It's usually on a weekend, like a Friday, Saturday, back Sunday, or Saturday, Sunday, back Monday type of thing. It's an easy one to get to, and it's a great little sort of introduction. If you haven't got heaps of time and maybe not as much money as some of the bigger trips cost, then this one's sort of right up your alley. So keep an eye on that on my website. We'll probably do that again next year. I haven't sorted out any dates just yet, but we'll get
not to mention the Hotel Bruni.
Hotel Bruni. Look.
With the merch and everything.
Yeah, they do a great job with the merch. They do a great job. We stay there. The cabins are practically brand new.
Yeah, they look great. Really I saw them when I was there.
Speaking of merch, look at this. I've got my assistant, once it pops up, we can share this one and embarrass her as well. But I've got, she rocked up. We both rocked up in the exact same uniform on the second day. We didn't realize this, but Cheryl was having a great time. But we had the exact same pants on, same style of shoes, same hoodie, the whole lot.
Perfect.
So it was pretty funny, but we actually looked like a good team. But it's a great place. And even if it's not with a tour with me and you're coming down the Tassie, give yourself a good couple of days to explore Bruni. The ferry cost maybe $50 return, $60 return to get over and back.
It's a bargain.
There's Airbnbs. There's all different types of accommodation there. The food's great. We almost got, we had the forecast of a big aurora and it just didn't eventuate, but it would have been the lighthouse with the aurora over the back. I was really keen, but it just didn't happen. So,
if anyone would like the link to the Airbnb, I stayed in at Bruni. By all means, hit me up. It's a great spot for photos, like quite central and not too far from the pub. So that's always a win.
We drove past it actually the other day, the blue one. I'm like, that's where Brendan stayed.
That's exactly where it was. Yeah.
They're knocking it down for some reason.
Yeah, that's right. Torching it. You go a bit further on and you get to that spot where the upside down boats are on the Cemetery Beach. Cemetery Road. I know it's on Cemetery Road.
Dude, you are good. It was. It was Cemetery Beach. And here you go. There's one more photo just because I haven't plugged it enough. Wait till that one loads up. Because it exactly, your memory is phenomenal. There you go. That's Cemetery. Exactly, it is Cemetery Beach.
Yeah. Yeah, good spot. So, that was the first spot we went to after we checked into our Airbnb just to have a quick look. And a couple of nights later, my daughter and I came down to there. It was so peaceful. It was fantastic.
Yeah, we saw one person there for an hour and a bit that were there.
Yeah. Speaking about off-grid, that's a good spot to do it if you want to go off-grid there. So,
now, on the back of that, we had leads into another topic. It does. I want to make a plea to people, and I know it's probably a bit late for some people, but please, if you're buying a camera, if you're looking to buy a new camera or looking to change up or upgrade your camera, please don't buy the heaviest of heavy cameras. Yes, that's a bit of a blanket statement. It's a bit vague, but I get so many customers who come on these trips who have got the big Canons or the big Nikons or even the Sonys with their full frame lenses on there. And it's just too heavy for people. They just can't hold up these long, heavy lenses. Now, admittedly, a lot of my customers are sort of in the retirement age or getting into retirement age. So they're not as, they're not 20-year-old strapping fit people running around mountains. So, but a lot of them rock up with this big gear and it just restricts them so much. And not so much with their photographic skills. Like the cameras are great. They're fantastic cameras. They all do what they're meant to do. But it restricts them when, like, okay, Cam, where are we going here? What lens do I need? Oh, probably a telephoto. Oh, I can't carry that telephoto for more than a couple hundred meters. It's too heavy. Okay, well, you're not going to get these shots. You just have to bring your wide angle. So I really plead with people, if you're looking to buy a camera and you're maybe at the middle to middle age sort of stage where you're looking to sort of lighten your gear, just remember, if you're buying a Canon, a Nikon, a Sony, anything that's full frame, you're going to need full frame lenses to cover that sensor. And those full frame lenses almost just negate the lighter bodies that you get with these mirrorless cameras. They just put the weight back on. And I think it's a bit of a trap that people fall into. Along with the lines, like people like, oh, I've got my own my old Canon DSLR. I'll just get the adapter and put those lenses on a new body. They're going to be heavier again. So I don't know. You probably come across it when people are buying cameras, but it's really hard when people get their gear out and they've spent thousands of dollars of money on gear, and you can just tell that within months or weeks it's going to do their head in. It's going to be too heavy, too restricted, and I don't know what the answer is. I don't like. Yes, I know we high plug Olympus, and there's other brands like Fuji and Panasonic, but really, like it really heavily restricts people in their experience and their enjoyment of photography.
I think one way around it, and unfortunately, it means spending more money, and that is to almost have not two completely different systems, but you could have one body, but you have lenses that you can only take in the car that are going to be places where you can park and maybe walk 100 meters. And then you're going to have lenses that you can take where you can walk 2-3 kilometers. Now, I understand that can be a bit of a bugbear because, you know that in 2 or 3 kilometers time is a subject that requires X lens. Yeah. But if you can somehow set up your kit so that you've got, this is where zoom lenses are great. Because they give you more range. Yes, you do sacrifice quite often aperture, but how much light comes in. But and I've raved about that 12 to 200 for ages now. That thing has got me out of some jams. When the Three Capes walk, for example, having it on that was absolutely fantastic because it was just so bloody versatile. Yeah. Also on the overland track, I took the cheap 75 to 300 plastic Fantastic. Got some great photos out of it. Knowing that it's probably going to cost you just a tiny bit of image quality, but being able to walk comfortably with it and not bust your gut, to get to some of these places, it's probably not a bad option. Just to, and again, you don't have to spend thousands of dollars. No. Some of these lenses are $500-600 brand new. But having that option available to you. So, for example, on our Great Ocean Road tour, we'll have a bus. That's great. But there are a couple of points where you're going to have to walk, like, for example, the name of it's gone out of my head.
The Hopeton Falls, something like that?
Beauchamp Falls. The first one we go to, Beauchamp. That's about a 3 kilometre round walk, or 3.5 really. It's all downhill to get there. It's back uphill on the way back. I found last year there was people that were sort of bemoaning, I've got to carry all this gear. Well, you're on a photography trip for one. Yeah. So let's talk about, maybe a bit of pre-preparation and not being married to, I have to have my 24 to 70 f2.8 down there, maybe you don't. Well,
this is the thing as well. Like some of the guys that you get on workshops, like they've got some great gear, and I'm going to single out a group of people that I think need to pull their head in a bit and actually get better at what they do. And it's people that work in camera shops. So you see people, you see people walk in. If I see some of my customers walk into a camera shop and they said, I want to get the R5, 70 to 200, 2.8, whatever it is, 24 to 70, 2.8, whatever it is, I'm going to say to them straight off the bat, this is a heavy system. You're going to have to carry a lot of this around. There's other options. That doesn't happen anymore. People walk in, they do the research, they know what they want. The salespeople don't try and sway them anyway, apart from if it means more money going one way or the other. When did all the customer service of being honest go out of the door? Like, if people used to come into me, I'm like, you know what, this is not good for you. And I'm honest with my customers on the workshops. Like we had one lady, Kathy, lovely lady. She had the R5. She had the 24-105 2.8 R lens. Now I'm not shitting you. That thing was about that long.
It's heavy.
I'm like, what is that? She goes, oh, that's the 24-105 2.8. I'm like, fantastic lens, way too heavy. So I think we need to start, and hopefully we can spread the word a bit. If you're looking to buy a new camera or looking to upgrade your camera, I would almost put weight as one of the number one selling things these days. That has to be at the top of your list or close to when you're buying a camera. Don't worry about megapixels. Don't worry about what your mate at the camera club says. Don't worry about what camera system you may already had that's old. Look at the weight and grab it and put the lens on it and play around with it for 20 minutes in the shop and see how you feel, because I can guarantee you 9 times out of 10 it's going to be too heavy for you.
Yeah,
and it's going to ruin your experience.
Could not agree more.
Yeah. I was just going to say, they get to locations and, you know, after a couple of days, you can just see how much they're really not enjoying the camera. And it's nothing against the cameras. The cameras are built, they're, like I said, they're all beautiful cameras and they're all going to create amazing images. But if I can hold my OM1 up with a 24-70 equivalent with one hand and do it pretty easily, and you need 2 hands to hold that up, and you're not as strong as what I am, there's a problem there. Yeah. And it's going to cause you problems down the track, and your photography is going to suffer, your enjoyment's going to suffer, and you're going to just think, I just wasted all this money on camera gear that I'm not enjoying. And that's not what it should be about.
No, not a true word was spoken. And case in point, I had a gentleman in today who wants to get into photography, and he was recommended to come and talk to me because I've been doing it for a while. I'm local. I've got the camera store there. The best thing about going to independent camera stores is that they're not married, like Cam said, they're not married to brands. They don't have to sell, you know, X number of whatever's a month to qualify for more money, blah, blah, blah. They will generally ask the questions first before we start settling on different camera brands. And the very first thing I said to this guy was, how fit are you? You know, he was roughly my age. And he said, I love hiking. I do a lot of hiking. And he looked relatively fit. So I said, okay, let's look at a couple of models, but let's have a look at their weight. And he was all about it because he backpacked a bit and he hiked. And, you know, we're all very conscious of weight when we do that. Yeah. You know, so we narrowed it down to a couple of mirrorless models, 2 from Canon and 1 from Sony. But then we started talking lenses, and that's when we started talking about zooms. And he was more into his landscape. So lower apertured stuff is not as much as a priority, which is good because generally speaking, those lenses are lighter weight. So, very, very good point. Very well made.
Yeah, I think, like I said, I'm seeing it more and more and more as I go along. Like we had Sarah SJE, you know, got some incredible shots at the Daintree the other week. She's got the R3 and the macro lens and the big flash, and I just picked it up, and like she's a strong girl. Like she won championships for throwing rolling pins in her local country town. She's a world champion rolling pin
watch
thrower.
Out for her on the Gradation Road. I wouldn't
don't get on the wrong side of her. She will punch the shit out of you. But she had this camera, and I loved it. I think the R3 is a lovely camera. I really like it. It's a beautiful camera. But with the flash on top and the macro lens, it was heavy. It wasn't the heaviest I've ever felt. But she said the whole time, like, my arm's getting sore. Or this is gonna, you know, she had this big strap around her. It was a lot of, you know, mucking around with it. And the results she got were fantastic, but no different to the results that, you know, myself or Cheryl got. You know, the same sort of quality, same sort of output. So yeah, it's an interesting one. I just hate seeing people rock up and they've got all the latest gear and it's just too heavy for them. And
it's not, and it's compounded by the fact that a lot of people will put into their backpack every friggin' lens that they own when they come on a photo tour, which I kind of get. But what sometimes I say to guys is, all right, let's have your backpack. That's fine. Let's leave that on the bus. Let's pick 1 or 2 lenses and have a smaller bag that you can, like, even if the camera's got 1 lens fitted around your neck and you've got another lens in a bum bag or in a smaller backpack or something like that. Horses for courses for when you're going to have to leave your bag and go. And look, invariably, yes, you'll get someone, you get, gee, I wish I had taken that lens. We talk about this all the time, but, you know, I think it's important because twofold. One, the amount of times you've seen this, Cam, the amount of times you see people foraging around in their backpack, looking for something, and it's buried under a lens that they haven't used once on the trip in 3 days, or it's, you know, it's just a mess and it's just so much gear. You've got to economize. You've got to make some smart choices on, and just all you got to do is have a look at an itinerary or talk to your tour leader or think about where you're going to take photos. Am I really going to need that lens? Am I really going to need all of this gear? You know, and narrow it down a little bit so that, but I think, as Cameron said, also, the frustration is it's killer. People get frustrated with all the gear.
I think there's also a little bit of not not gear, not showing off gear as such, but there's a little bit of this thought pattern where people go, well, I've bought all this gear. I was told by the guy at the camera club, or I was told by the guy in the camera shop that I needed this. I've got it all. I've got to bring it. Like, otherwise, why did I buy it? So there's almost a justification clause where I've got to bring it because I've bought it. Even if I'm never going to use it, I've got to bring it because I've bought it just in case. And that's not the case. So, you know, we're really starting to tell people these days on workshops, restrict your luggage by a little bit. Your camera gear, you only really need wide angle and a telephoto, unless you're doing something quite specific like macro. Leave all that junk at home that you don't need, and just enjoy the photography for what it is, as opposed to hating your gear. And then as soon as something doesn't work on your camera, it becomes the excuse for everything that doesn't work. You know, oh, the camera's too heavy. Oh, I hate this bloody camera. Oh, I don't understand the memories. Oh, blah, blah, blah. The menu system shit. I don't know. I hate to see it, because they're coming on these tours to enjoy it, and they're having a lot of fun. We're putting them in these amazing places, and it's the gear that's letting them down, mainly because of the weight. So
riddle me this, Cameron. This is a question without notice.
Ooh.
The white lens from Olympus OM system that you own, the 150 to 400 f4, it's f4, isn't it?
The one you're going to buy.
Why is it so light?
Why is it so light? Well, I don't think it's got as much glass in it as what the other maybe big ones have.
Okay.
Might be one thing. It doesn't, I don't think it needs as much glass in regards to magnification, because it's not going over a full frame camera. Okay. I don't think it's made out of anything different material wise to make it lighter.
So it's a polycarbonate, so it's plastic, but I can't get over how light that lens is. It's just, I like, you pick it up and you go, hang on, they've left part of it out.
Yeah, where's the rest of it?
Yeah,
I'm just trying to look lens now as to how many elements it has. I would say it's less glass.
Have 9, wouldn't it? No, I thought it'd have 9, but you know, I don't know. Anyway, it's interesting.
It is interesting. I think because the elements are only this big, they don't have to be that big in regards to some of the big lenses.
And also, I mean, there might be new grinding techniques and stuff now where they physically use less glass, which is quite possible. But yeah, it's a weird one. It's almost too light, that lens, for 10 grand.
So it says here, good old AI overview. Due to the use of lightweight materials like magnesium alloy and carbon fiber, the design choice also contributes good balance and ease of handling. So it's lightweight materials.
Is it a carbon fiber tube?
The lens barrel is constructed from a combination of magnesium alloy and carbon fiber. I didn't know that.
There you go. Well, magnesium alloy is very, very lightweight. So there you go.
Yes, there you go. So that's why it's a stupid amount of money, because it's got carbon fiber.
Yeah, why didn't they leave it carbon fiber? It would look so cool. You know, that black. I'm
going to get a carbon fiber wrap for it. Have you seen those wraps you can get?
Kevlar wrap.
Kevlar.
Get it wrapped in Kevlar. That'd look sick.
That'll look stupid. Oh, there you go.
That's how they look, not how you use them.
You're in carbon fiber.
You found one for your lens?
Found one for the 300 mil. There'll be one there for sure.
There will be. Because I was talking to you while we were watching the football. We were texting each other on Easter Monday. It was a great game, one of the best games of the year. Should we talk about it? Yeah. And I was mentioning to you that, and it might have been the chat with Michael Wilson that actually has triggered this, but there's always been I'm sure there's a sports photographer inside me trying to get out. I love sport and I love photography, so it's a good marriage, right?
Yeah.
I would dearly love to shoot. I'm not even talking professional grade. I'm just talking. I'd like to do a bit more work for the local footy club. Get some more photos. And I've got my. I'm shooting with a OM system EM1X, which I adore that camera. But I've only got the 100 to 400 zoom, which is I'm assuming it's like what f5. No, f. What was it? 4.5 to 6.3.
Yeah.
But shooting, at higher ISOs that you can get away with now, it actually performs quite well. But where it falls down is aperture. So it doesn't give me that shallower depth of field, particularly at closer ranges. At big zoom, it works fine because of lens compression. But when you're, for example, on the boundary line at a football match and the action's happening 30 meters away, that's that sweet spot where you get those really cool full body shots of people tackling and the ball flying and all that sort of stuff with the background separation due to the fact that you're shooting at f2.8. Now, that's really, really hard to achieve on the OM system setup. They don't have a zoom of that reach at f2.8. They have a 300 f2.8, is that right? But that's fixed.
They have a 300 f4.
Do my f4. The 300 f that'd do my head in having to shoot at 300 all the time. You're going to want some.
That's a little bit restrictive. It is a bit restrictive because you're on that same. I had that lens in the kit that I had from Olympus for a while. Stunning lens, really nice. But yeah, you were stuck. Your legs had to do all the work. To get closer or further away from it. But that's right. Like you want that shallow depth of field to really, try and separate your topics and subjects and things like that. But those big long lenses are great. They're not cheap. But
that's the thing. That's the thing. I mean, you've got to basically you almost have to be doing it professionally, or have a crap ton of disposable income to justify, picking up a lens like that. You wouldn't get one just for a hobby. You'd need to be a pro to justify even buying the thing in the first place. But it's interesting. Watch your space on that one, folks.
You can see my eyes wandering. I've come across the Olympus 150 to 400 wraps. 30 pounds. They got some cool ones.
Yeah, nice.
They got some real cool ones.
Well, let me get you back on track here, and let's talk beer donations this week, shall we, Cameron?
Okay, let's do that. Let me bring up the notes. So beer donations, we've had like 2.5 weeks of beer donations because we've been off air.
Yes.
There's a guy, Mel H. I'm assuming it's a guy. They've been lucky enough to shout us 3 lots of beer. So thank you, Mel.
Thank you, Mel.
And Sharon Thorogood and the Destroyers, she's picked up one of those beers on the beach that she's taken photos of and just handed over to us. So thank you, Sharon.
I just had a moment. A moment. And this is happening as we speak.
Don't tell me you haven't pressed record.
No. Well, I've pressed record. This is happening as we speak, and it's Mel. I've forgotten your print that you've reminded me of in the Mally 3 weeks ago.
You're a shocker.
I know.
Well, it's not like you've had anything on.
No, it's funny, isn't it? It's almost like they're a mate. It'll wait, and then that's just right. That's it. That's not getting done. It's like something that triggers. My apologies, Mel. I'll get that fixed up for you.
We're doing the Great Ocean Road next month. It's 12 months since I sent you that file to get framed.
It's done. It's been sitting in my back room for 8 months.
Yeah, I need it done. Just get your shit together.
Where are you gonna put it?
No, look, they got a Nautic titanium wrap. Sorry, just been distracted. Where am I going to put it?
There's a dog with a puffy tail.
I don't know where I'm going to put it. I'll put it somewhere.
But you're going to put it.
I want to put it because it's a cracking. You know what? I've actually lost connection with that photo now.
Well, you can shoot it again in a month's time.
Well, it always happens when I'm there. So
why don't I give it away on the tour?
You can do that if you want.
Thank you for your beer donations. If you would like to buy us a beer, head to dsps.com.au and click on the buy us a beer button, and you can do that there. Nice.
I'm going to buy one of these wraps, Brendan. They got carbon fiber. They got camouflage. The only thing is buying these wraps for lenses is, when you used to do the models and you used to get the sticker packs and you had to put the stickers on, I was an absolute spaz with that. I could never get the stickers on right, and I'd always get frustrated. So I might have to get Lisa to do it. She's a bit more patient than me.
I built the Tamiya model cars, and the stickers. I had a Ferrari F40, I had a BMW 635 CSI, I had a Testarossa.
Yes.
I had what else did I had a few? Oh, I had a 911 Turbo. Yeah, nice. Cool. I loved doing those things. It really suited my OCD, I guess.
Yeah, I was the same. I used to go through all the classic Warbird planes like the Spitfire.
Oh, you did the planes, yeah. I wasn't into the planes so much, but the cars definitely. I really enjoyed doing those. Cameron, what have you got coming up since we are getting close to the end of the show?
I'm going to do some shopping on AliExpress soon. I just got to figure out what wrap I get for my lens.
You're going to buy a rat?
I don't think I'll get it in time.
Get a Kevlar one.
No, well, they got camo, carbon fiber black. They got this fancy. What's it called? Where is it? Mumbo black. It's got a whole heap of different things. They've got some really cool options. Anyway, what am I doing?
This is making great content.
Sorry, this is me just tuning out. What am I doing? When this episode comes out, I'll be in Melbourne on Saturday, flying in Saturday before we head up to Bright for our annual autumn photography workshop. Cool. So we're heading up to Bright. We've still got a spot or two. If anyone's really last minute and wants to fly up to that's a bright the next day after this comes out.
Yeah, that's right. This will come out on Friday.
Yeah, come on up. So we'll be in Bright from sort of Sunday through to Wednesday as of next week, doing our Bright workshop. And then we come back for one day. We're actually doing a talk. Cheryl and I are doing a talk at the Melbourne Camera Club. We're doing a joint talk.
Fantastic.
It was actually more a request for her to come and talk, and I can just come along. So that's good for her.
You can get on stage, introduce her, and say bye.
I could. Apparently, there's a bit of interest with female photographers and macro photographers there. So, and then we come back and we do a macro photography workshop at Cradle Mountain, which we also have a couple of spots left if you want, from May 3rd to the 5th. And then I've got a few weeks off to go get my little operation done.
And then you head to the Great Ocean Road with me.
Then I come to the Great Ocean Road with you, and not lifting any bags because I'll be still sort of fresh after my op.
We might need to bring a Sherpa.
Or here's a revelation of an idea. Customers load their own bags in the car. Yeah. If you can't carry it yourself, don't bring it.
No one listens this far, so I'm going to give a secret hot tip. If you go on a photography tour, like one that Cam and I run, or one other reputable photographers around Australia and around the world run, and you take your camera backpack, grab yourself your favorite colored ribbon and tie it to the top of your bag. You'll thank me later.
Yeah, but there's a problem with that. What if everyone has the same colored ribbon?
They won't. What are the odds of that? Come on.
Well, what's your favorite color?
What's my favorite color? It's a good question. Normally blue, I would have thought.
Yeah, mine's blue too. So that's green.
Matches my eyes. I think blue, so I'd probably put a blue, but I wouldn't just put a blue ribbon. You know, you got to add a bit of flair. Maybe blue and red. That's a good combination of colors.
So good tip though. What have you got coming up whilst we no one's listening this far?
After talking to my surgeon today, I've got a lot of nothing coming up. So minimizing my hours in the shop while the lovely Rachel runs things for me over the next sort of week. I've also got my amazing daughter back in the house, so she's going to hang around for a few weeks now. So she'll be able to help in the shop. She was in the shop today. It was amazing today, Cam. Abby, my daughter, ran the shop from about 1 o'clock until 5 till close. And for the last hour, she had her brother in there helping her. So my two kids ran camera and photo today. So
how'd that go?
It went really well. It was excellent. It made the old man pretty proud, but there's no way in hell they want to take over that business, but it was nice while it lasted.
I can just imagine those two customers coming in.
No, it was good. They had lots of chats, and my son, he's only just started, so he's still in the emptying bins and cleaning monitors and stuff phase at the moment, and stacking frames.
Abby wouldn't be bossing him around the dirt, would she?
Look, no, not at all. Abby's wonderful. She's great.
Don't know about
that. I'm also, so given that I get a bit down, I can actually drive a car, so I will be doing that. And I'm thinking a little trip up to Dalesford might be on the cards for me, just to chase some autumn colour. Maybe even Bacchus Marsh. The Avenue of Honour in Bacchus Marsh is sensational for autumn colour. So
don't bother.
No good.
Well, not unless you're going to hang around with 15,000 other people.
Well, it is the closest, one of the closer ones. Oh, Macedon's the other one that I want to avoid as well. I hear that gets overrun at this time of year too. So, but if I'm there at 6 a.m., no one else is going to be there, surely.
No one else will have that same idea, will they?
No one. Maybe up to the Marsh and then up to Dalesford. This time the Dalesford Botanic Gardens. I've done Jubilee and the those big oak trees or whatever they're called there at Dalesford. So it'll probably be up into the Botanical Gardens this time. And find that coffee shop that did amazing soup a couple of years ago for me.
Okay.
So I might go back there. So that's it.
Sounds good.
We made it through another episode.
Good that we're going to do a short one.
It ended up being nearly an hour. Yeah. Anyway, that's all right.
Brendan's like, we'll just do a short one this week. Keep the fans happy was the word I think he said.
We've got to put material out.
Now, before we go, we need to talk about that cup. Why do you need a cup that big?
Have you not? How long have you been doing this with me? I've had this cup. I have a cup not this exact cup, but I've had other cups bigger than that.
That cup just looks ridiculous.
Well, it's full of water. I am drinking water at the moment.
Ah. Well, I'm drinking I didn't tell you about my quick adventure. Tomorrow, I'm going on an adventure. I'm leaving at 4:30 in the morning to go with Jamie. We're driving close to 4 hours to the west coast of Tasmania to go chase down some Fagus colour on a mountain. Awesome. Neither of us have climbed this mountain before. We're going to go give it a crack. So I really need to stop talking and get to bed, but I'll update everyone on how that went next week and whether or not I made it back alive.
I want to see your photo of the week. Next week will be that Fagus that you're chasing.
It will be.
Okay. That's it. That has been episode 160 of the Down South Photo Show. We will see you for episode 161 next week. Bye for now. Say goodbye, Cameron.
Goodbye, Cameron.
That never gets old.
No, it never will. Bye.